Well, if I am looking at my internet history correctly, it's been just over 3 weeks, about a month, that I have been off YouTube except for that one video that I made. And a lot has changed. It's I have a job now that the hours at the moment are not full-time, which that kind of sucks because that's what I applied for, that's what I was hired for. But it's that time of year where there's a lot to get done, especially outdoors, even though we still have some snow. But it is definitely not like it was 2 weeks ago. Doing some cleanup, trying to get some tree trunks and logs that have fallen over during the winter, setting them out so that they can dry out in the sun until I can get to them and finish them off. But yeah, so when I wasn't making YouTube videos, what was I up to? Well, for one, I still don't get to see the news like I used to. I've been trying to keep up on a few things. I know that the $2 trillion indebted slavery bill passed, which is amusing because didn't we just pass like $1 trillion bill like 2 months ago, something like that? So now we're spending another $2 trillion with no way to pay for it. That's awesome. And so I am up to date on that. Yeah, there's, you tell me, what did I miss out on? Unfortunately, I did have to hear about Meghan Markle complaining about only being a millionaire, getting herself married into a royal family, still not privileged enough, I guess. And she had to tell Oprah all about it, because that's what people do when they're not privileged. They go on Oprah and they talk about how bad life is. So, exciting news, and I don't know if anybody who watches my YouTube channel had noticed or would know about this, but the other night, and honestly, I don't even know if this is new, but I have a feeling that it is, because I've never seen it before. There was a feature that popped up on WordPress asking if I wanted to turn my blog post into a podcast. And it just suddenly dawned on me at that moment where I was like, wow, so not only can I have a podcast, but I have years worth of material that can be turned into a podcast. And it's a fraction, a small fraction of the work that I was putting into doing podcasts before. It is literally set up so that you write your blog, you click on a voice, it's just a man or woman's voice, and it reads the text as if a real person is reading it. It doesn't even sound monotone or robotic in any way. It's actually pretty amazing. So the moment I discovered this, I went back and turned all my previous Great Reset posts into a podcast. Same name, The Collapse Experiment. It's on Spotify. There's no ads. Each episode is roughly 4 to 5 minutes. And so for those of you who don't like reading, or unfortunately can't read because, public schools and all that, you don't have to go to my website anymore. You can literally just listen to it. And the other cool feature is that if you do go to the website, there is an icon at the top of several of the posts, not all of them, that says, would you like to listen to this post on Spotify? So, if you want to do something else besides sitting on your butt, but you want to know, for whatever reason, what I have to say, you can do your dishes and just listen to the post. I think there's maybe 20 episodes right now, and it keeps hounding me to do advertising, but most ads are anywhere between 30 seconds to a minute, and I personally don't think I'm going to have the type of traffic to justify even thinking that I can make money on doing ads. So there's no ads. I don't really see myself having any ads. I'd rather just have the information out there and not turn people off to it. So that's where I'm at with Anchor, because the whole thing, it connects to Anchor, which also distributes podcasts to places like Google, Spotify, I don't remember the others. There's like 6 or 7 different podcast outlets. But I know for a fact it is on Spotify right now. What's even funnier is I don't listen to Joe Rogan anymore. Not because he went to Spotify, but because, for one, I got tired of having all the different apps on my phone. I like having one spot to find all of the stuff that I'm interested in. So it's either the podcast app that I use, which collects all the ones that I am subscribed to. And I didn't really feel like, oh, well, now I gotta get Spotify so I can hear what Joe Rogan has to say. And it's like, if you're making more work for me, I'm probably not gonna do it. Which is exactly why I was like, this is probably the easiest way for someone like me to have a podcast. I don't have to read it. I click a button. It automatically transfers my text into an audio file. And it's all taken care of for me. I don't have to distribute it. And the names of the episodes speak for themselves, If you want to find out what certain parts of the Great Reset are all about, there's a good chance, because I'm more than halfway through the book, I've talked about it. And, there's certain parts where I say, this is true, but, they're coming at it from this angle. Or there's a lot of it where I'm just like, this is complete BS. So, if you want to check that out, once I am done with reading The Great Reset and writing about it, I'm actually going to go back to my older posts, do a podcast series of my year as a degenerate cook. What was the other one I did? Golden. About my work in, I guess you could call it television. I don't know. I don't even know what to call it now. Show never got made. But, yeah, those will be coming up in the near future. So, what else? I still haven't been able to spend that much time in the cabin. I've gotten out here a few times, but primarily, first week at the new job was hectic. It was 10 plus hours a day on the road, getting lost. The GPS navigation system that the company I work for uses is absolutely horrible. It is atrocious. I don't know why they just don't go with Google. I had complaints about Google before when I worked for a different company, but this Google has nothing on how horrible this other program is. I don't know what they're using, but it is bad. So there is that. And I'm kind of glad I'm not getting the hours that they said, even though I'm supposed to be working four days a week, 3 days off, but kind of need a break. And I know that sounds bad with only having one income, but with winter being over, which means no more propane deliveries, which is not cheap, and with having our Amish store, which my wife just took her mom to a few minutes ago, with all the things going on right now that we have to our advantage, working full-time, fortunately, is not like a top priority. So that's actually a good thing. Plus, there's a lot of writing stuff and other things that I would like to get done. There's a lot of work around here that needs to be done. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just trying to get some of these loose branches, and I'll be able to get some of these tree trunks out of here. There's actually some of these, most of these are really old, but over yonder that way, there's a couple of them that fell down. I think it was from the windstorm that we had just a few days ago. So might be able to haul those out. I think they're already dead because they're pine trees that didn't have any branches on them. It's usually a good sign. unless it's a pine tree that has my poor hair follicles. It's because these things are bald. So, things with the house. I have one row of potatoes in the ground. And fun fact, the potatoes that I got were from the Amish store. 5-pound bags that they had for 30 cents. And I think it's just because they're starting to sprout. They wanted to get rid of them, and so I said, oh, well, a month from now, those things are going in the ground. So I bought several bags of potatoes, and I didn't even use half of them. So that is that's pretty good. Plus the row itself, like 30 feet. The only downside is that this is the first year doing all this, so the plot that I'm using, it's fairly large. I'm guessing, I don't know, I could be underestimating by saying it's half an acre. It just might be an acre. I'm not really sure. I know we've got 15 acres. Could be a quarter acre, actually, considering how much land we have. I have to look into this. So, for those of you out there, let me know what I missed. I was still getting notifications about Martin's show, and even my wife was like, "Hey, it's Friday. Well, you're not listening to that guy on YouTube." And I was like, "Ugh, I need a break." So, not from Martin specifically, just world in general. And funny thing is, I started listening to Tim Pool last night, just to see what was going on, and he was talking about how there's like this drop in people watching the news. Like all of a sudden nobody wants to watch the news anymore. So I'm not the only one. Apparently this is like a nationwide epidemic that needed to happen. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about taking a break. That was overdue. Feeling a lot better. Just things I would do differently. Probably would have read more. I don't know how much of that I could actually have accomplished with having two little ones. Job that was very physically and in some ways mentally demanding. With learning a bunch of new stuff. Yeah, I just wish I could have read more. I got quite a lot done reading wise. So there is that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to doing some more videos around the property. Take a tour right now. There's the cabin. So this is like a good between an eighth to a quarter of a mile behind the house, and we still have a whole lot of property that way, which that's what it looks like. It's just wooded land. So yeah, got a lot to work with around here. And I'm hoping with the podcast edition, more people will learn about it. You know, spread the word if you could, and hopefully it's entertaining. Although it's meant to be at this point more information than anything else. But yeah, I'm gonna get some funny stories on there and add more material. So I'd like to actually have like a backlog built up sooner than later, so that people coming to the podcast will have a lot of stuff to choose from. And you know, I'm constantly writing new stuff, so I think doing both of those will be a good start to doing something like that, because I know that a lot of podcasts don't last. They do just a few episodes and then they stop, and people find this stuff and they're like, "Oh, that was pretty good," and then they realize that the last episode was recorded 3 years ago. So, don't want to do that. And I think doing it with the blog is a good way to go about it. It's probably what I should have done 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Man, when was that? 2019? It's like 2 years ago. I had that other podcast, and it was not what I wanted. It was fun. I enjoyed it during the time, but you know, turned into something else, and this is really what I was looking for. So I am happy about that. In the meantime, yeah, give me your thoughts. Fill me in on anything that I might have missed. I should be doing more videos more often now, and I'm back. And missed you guys. Take care. Keep on typing.